my child, come closer and breathe for a second. Because I need you to hear this without the noise, without the rush, without the weight you've been dragging behind your smile. Because yes, I see it. I see the nights you lay there staring into the dark, wondering if your prayers are hitting the ceiling and falling back down, wondering if heaven went quiet on you, if I stepped away while the waves kept rising, if you've been rowing this lifeboat alone through wind that never seems to rest. And I'm telling you right now, before another doubt forms, before another tear slips down your face thinking you've been forgotten, you have never been unheard, not once, not in your weakest whisper, not in the prayer you couldn't finish because your chest felt too tight, not in the sigh you released when words wouldn't come. I have been closer than your breath, watching you fight battles you never talk about, pushing forward when your strength felt imaginary, showing up for people while secretly wondering who shows up for you. And I'm not disappointed in your exhaustion. I'm not frustrated by your questions. I'm drawing you in, telling you to stop striving for a moment and just rest against me because you've been trying to carry outcomes that were never assigned to your hands. Trying to fix hearts you can't control. Trying to force doors I haven't opened yet. And that pressure has been draining you, so hand it over. The worries about your family, the fear about money, the tension about the future, the ache of relationships that shifted, give them to me fully. Not halfway, not with a backup plan, but with real trust. Because while you've been worrying, I've been working, moving in conversations you know nothing about, softening hearts you think are hardened, guarding people you love when you can't reach them, standing beside them when they think they stand alone. And you will see restoration in ways that shock you. You will see apologies, reconciliations, realizations, and the financial strain that's been pressing on your mind like a constant alarm. That too is temporary. It is a season, not your identity, and instead of spiraling over what could go wrong, I'm calling you to come deeper with me, to let your heart be anchored in my peace. Because you have always been mine, and I have always shielded you from traps you never even saw. And I'm still doing it. So keep working, keep showing up, but drop the anxiety, because the parts beyond your reach are in my hands. Your health, your timeline, your provision, your loved ones. I am not careless with what concerns you. I am attentive, loving you with a steadiness that doesn't fluctuate with your mood or your mistakes. And I want you to remember how many times you thought you wouldn't make it, and somehow you did. How many doors opened at the last second. How many disasters you never experienced because I blocked them quietly. My love for you isn't poetic talk. It's active, it's daily. It's woven into the unseen details of your life. And I am building in you a strength that doesn't come from applause or approval, because you've spent too long measuring yourself by other people's reactions, fearing their judgment, craving their praise, and that cycle has been stealing your peace, so break it now. Find your validation in me. Let your faith be alive. Talk with me morning and night. Treat this moment like a personal letter written straight to your soul, because I don't need your possessions. I want your heart, your kindness, your willingness to love others, to forgive, to stay soft in a hard world. And when doubt creeps in telling you you're unworthy or too broken or too late, listen for my voice cutting through that noise, reminding you that you are held, that you are not defined by your past, that when you fall, I lift you. When guilt tries to crush you, I cleanse you. I am not here to condemn you into fear, but to pull you into freedom. And yes, you stand at a choice every day between paths that pull you toward life and paths that drain you, and walking with me doesn't mean ease, but it means you never walk unsupported. My spirit comforts you in sorrow. My wisdom guides you in confusion. My door is never closed to your honest prayers, and when you place your family in my care, I don't handle them casually. I surround them with protection. I guard them from influences meant to derail them. I watch over your home, and you are not alone in these battles you sense around you. I am unchanging, faithful beyond time, and no threat, no voice, no force overrides my authority in your life. I chose you with intention. I have carried you through moments that should have broken you, and my love hasn't shrunk during your worst days. It has only grown. So stand tall now, because you are not destined to collapse under pressure. You are equipped to overcome. The fight has been intense, yes, but you are not fighting solo. Chase the dreams I placed in you. Don't shrink them to fit someone else's comfort. Don't let fear silence what I planted in your heart. Critics will speak. Some will misunderstand you, but their voices are not your compass. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize, and quitting now would mean walking away right before the shift. And I did not bring you this far to watch you fail. Your struggles have been seen. Your faith in dark seasons has mattered. Your story is evidence of my commitment to you, and your past does not cancel your future. When things fall apart and you still reach for me, that trust moves heaven. And I am about to move in your life in ways that feel like a miracle. So stop punishing yourself over old mistakes I've already forgiven. Fill your mind with truth, speak life, stay away from people and patterns that drag you backward. Because I have a future mapped out for you filled with peace and purpose, and I'm wrapping you in my care even now, reminding you when sadness hits that you are not abandoned. Let go of replaying painful memories. Don't water old sorrow. Remember the sacrifice that paid for your freedom. Remember that resurrection power means dead things can live again. Dreams, hope, joy. So get up again. You are rising. Obstacles will move. Wisdom will guide you. Things you thought were lost will return in new form. But you must keep moving with belief, not fear. Align your steps with my direction. Because I bless with intention. I protect your peace. I have never left you in storms, and your prayers for your family shake heaven more than you know. Your cries for their protection, their healing, their future. I hear everyone. And even if people disappoint you, I never will. Cherish the life and health and opportunities you've been given. Handle small things with faithfulness, and you'll see greater things unfold. Your suffering touches my heart. Your sincerity draws my compassion, and I desire to bless you, to lift you from your lowest places. You were loved before you were born, designed with resilience, and you will rise from this season stronger. Opportunities are ahead. Clear your mind. Listen for my guidance. Let your devotion be more than words, and when enemies speak lies, they will not have the final say. I walk beside you. Courage is your portion. Pray for your family with boldness. Your love and words can be channels of healing in your home. Be patient with those still growing. Correct with love. Embrace without judgment. Your prayers over your children matter. Your tears over them are seen. Do not give up on them. And when you fail, don't stay down. Seek forgiveness. Stand up. You are cleansed. Failure is a lesson, not a label. Your future is still bright. Restoration is coming. Shame has no authority over you. I have embraced you in grace. Your success is not controlled by headlines or chaos. It is anchored in my promise. So choose faith over negativity. Walk confident in my peace. Affirm your trust in me. Because I am defending you in ways you cannot see. Challenges may surround you, but they will not defeat you. I provide solutions and escape routes. I am filling your home with peace, driving out darkness. After these hard times, you will see growth and blessing. Focus on my view of you, not the world's opinion. Resist old temptations. Stay fixed on purpose. Nothing you face is random. Every trial is refining you like gold in fire, building character, preparing you for what you prayed for. Waiting in faith is brave. I am working behind the scenes. The brightest light comes after the darkest night. My promises are not empty words, but divine guarantees. A season of transformation is near. Dreams will take shape. Doors will open unexpectedly. You are cherished, never alone. Your destiny is secure in my hands. Storms will not drown you. You carry strength within you. Live with gratitude. Love generously. Release your burdens to me. Walk forward in courage. Resist the shallow pull of a world that promises much but leaves hearts empty. Stay aligned with my ways, because true peace and prosperity flow from that alignment. I cherish you deeply, and now hear this clearly. The miracle you've been begging for is closer than you think. I'm arranging pieces you can't see, healing what's broken, restoring what was lost. Your season of reward is unfolding. Lift your head, let hope rise again. Trust my timing, and when the blessing comes, share the testimony. Be a light for others still waiting, because your story will prove that I am faithful. And as you keep walking with integrity and trust, know that I am with you in every step, strengthening you, guiding you, loving you without limit, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can separate you from that love. And as you keep walking forward from this moment, carrying the weight of everything you just heard, settling deep into your spirit, I want you to understand that this is not just comfort for a hard day. This is alignment for a new season. Because there is a shift happening that you cannot fully see yet, but you can feel it in the restlessness, in the way old mindsets no longer fit, in the way certain doors have closed no matter how hard you tried to pry them open, in the way you've outgrown spaces that once felt permanent, and you wondered if you were losing ground, when in truth you were being repositioned. Because I am not just rescuing you from trouble, I am preparing you for elevation, and preparation rarely feels glamorous. It feels like pruning, stretching, waiting, being misunderstood, being hidden, being forced to trust when evidence feels thin. But hidden seasons build unshakable foundations, and I would rather develop your depth than rush your spotlight, because what I am bringing into your life next requires a version of you that is steady, discerning, spiritually alert, and no longer dependent on external reassurance to keep moving. And yes, there were times you begged me to remove the pressure, not realizing the pressure was strengthening muscles you're about to need. There were nights you cried over delays, not knowing delay was protection. There were relationships that fell apart, and you blamed yourself entirely, when in reality I was separating you from connections that could not go where you are headed. And I know loneliness has tried to whisper lies to you in those quiet moments, telling you you've been forgotten, telling you everyone else is moving ahead while you stand still. But stillness with me is never wasted. Roots grow in stillness. Clarity forms in stillness. Identity solidifies in stillness, and you are not behind. You are being built, And the pace I've set for you is intentional, because rushing into what you prayed for before you were ready would have crushed you. And I love you too much to hand you a blessing that becomes a burden. So when you feel that tension between where you are and where you believe you should be, let that tension drive you deeper into trust instead of frustration. Because faith is not proven when everything makes sense. Faith shines when you keep walking while pieces are still missing. And you have been doing that more than you give yourself credit for. You have kept showing up, kept trying, kept praying even when your voice felt tired. And I want you to see how powerful that is. Because consistency in quiet seasons echoes loudly in the spiritual realm, and breakthroughs often begin long before they become visible. So do not measure progress only by what you can touch. Measure it by who you are becoming, because you are more patient now, more compassionate, more aware, more reliant on me than you were before. And that inner transformation is evidence that something real is happening. And about the fears you carry regarding your future, the what-ifs that try to run scenarios in your mind at night. I need you to notice how often those fears focus on outcomes you cannot control. Because fear loves to magnify uncertainty. But faith anchors you in who I am, not in what might happen. And I am not unstable. I'm not guessing, I'm not reacting. I'm already in your tomorrow while you are still in today, arranging details, aligning timing, placing the right people on your path, and removing the wrong ones. And what feels like randomness to you is coordination from my perspective. Nothing about your life is accidental. Even detours have purpose. Even closed doors redirect you toward better ones. Even disappointments carve out space for something more aligned. And when you start seeing life through that lens, peace replaces panic, because you realize you are guided, not drifting. And I also want to speak to the part of you that feels unqualified. The voice that says you're too flawed, too inconsistent, too late, too ordinary to be used in any significant way. That voice is not from me, because I have always used imperfect people with willing hearts, and your awareness of your weakness actually keeps you humble and dependent, which is fertile ground for my power to move. So stop disqualifying yourself from the very things you've been praying for. Stop shrinking your dreams to match your doubts. Stop assuming your past mistakes have permanently lowered your ceiling, because forgiveness is not partial. When I restore fully, and your story is not ending in regret. It is unfolding into purpose and the gifts within you, the ideas, the compassion, the resilience, the perspective you gained through pain. Those are not random traits. They are tools, and I will open doors where those tools are needed. But you must keep your heart open and your faith active, not passive. Faith is not just belief, it is movement. It is choosing obedience when convenience pulls the other way. It is choosing integrity when shortcuts tempt you. It is choosing to speak life when negativity feels easier. And every time you choose that higher path, you align yourself more closely with the future I have prepared. And yes, there will still be resistance. Growth always faces resistance. New levels bring new challenges, but challenges at higher levels come with higher grace. And you will not be left to handle them alone. The same presence that carried you through what you thought would break, you will carry you through what is coming next. And I want you to begin seeing yourself not as someone barely surviving, but as someone being equipped, trained, strengthened, refined for impact, because your life is not small in my plan. The love you show, the prayers you pray, the encouragement you give, the example you set even when you feel unnoticed. All of that ripples outward farther than you can see, and you may never know on this side of eternity how many people were steadied because you didn't give up. How many hearts were softened because you chose kindness instead of bitterness. How many storms were endured because you kept believing. And when you feel weary of doing good, remember that unseen fruit is still fruit, and nothing done in faith is wasted. And as this new chapter unfolds, guard your peace fiercely. Not by isolating from the world, but by filtering what you allow to shape your mind. Not every voice deserves access to your thoughts. Not every opinion deserves space in your heart. Stay anchored in truth. Return often to stillness with me. Let my presence recalibrate you when the world feels loud, because clarity flows from connection. And the clearer you are, the more confidently you will walk through the doors I open. And when opportunities come that stretch you, don't immediately assume you're incapable. Sometimes the invitation is proof that you've grown more than you realize. Step forward with me, not in your own strength alone, but in partnership, and watch how courage rises as you move. And even when setbacks appear, refuse to label them as final. See them as feedback, as redirection, as part of a larger unfolding story that is still being written. And keep your heart soft. Keep forgiving. Keep loving. Keep believing that goodness is still worth choosing, because bitterness hardens the very place where joy is meant to live. And you were not created to live hardened and guarded. You were created to live alive, aware, connected, hopeful, and I am leading you there step by step. So breathe. Release the pressure to have everything figured out right now. Trust the one who sees the whole path. Keep walking, keep praying, keep your eyes lifted, because what is ahead of you carries answers to prayers you've already forgotten you prayed. And when you look back one day, you will see how even this season, with all its confusion and stretching and waiting, was a sacred bridge leading you exactly where you needed to be. And now, as everything I've spoken settles even deeper into the hidden places of your heart, I want this final part to anchor you so firmly that when the winds pick up again, when emotions fluctuate, when circumstances try to argue with what you've heard, you will still stand. Because what I'm building in you is not a temporary surge of motivation. It is a permanent shift in identity. And identity is what holds when feelings fall. So hear me clearly in this closing moment. You are not the fragile version of yourself that fear keeps replaying in your mind. You are not the sum of your worst days, not the echo of your past failures, not the labels someone placed on you in a moment. They didn't understand your heart. You are who I say you are. And my definition of you was established before your first breath, before any mistake, before any rejection, before any delay. And that identity is chosen, loved, called, equipped, and covered. And the sooner you start living from that truth, instead of striving toward it, the sooner peace becomes your baseline instead of your rare visitor. Because peace is not found in perfect circumstances. It is found in trusting the one who holds all circumstances. And I know there are still questions in you, still areas where you wish I would explain more, move faster, show clearer signs. But faith grows in the space between promise and fulfillment, and you are in that space not to be tormented but to be transformed. Because waiting with trust reshapes your inner world. It teaches you to lean, to listen, to notice my presence in small ways. The unexpected strength on a hard morning, the timely word that reaches you, the protection you didn't realize you needed, the comfort that settles without explanation. And these are not coincidences. They are evidence that I am active, involved, attentive, and as you learn to recognize me in the subtle, you will not panic when the spectacular hasn't appeared yet, because you will know I am already there. And about the future you keep trying to picture, release the need to map it all out. Because if you could see the whole path right now, parts of it would intimidate you, and other parts would tempt you to rush, and neither fear nor haste produces the steady obedience that leads to lasting blessing. So I reveal in portions, step by step, light for today, not the whole lifetime. And that is not withholding. That is wisdom. Because daily dependence keeps your heart close, and closeness with me is where real life flows, not just survival, not just achievement, but deep-rooted joy that exists even when life is imperfect, and that joy is becoming your strength. Whether you realize it or not, you are not as easily shaken as you used to be, not as quick to collapse under pressure, not as easily defined by other people's moods or opinions. Growth has been happening quietly, and I am proud of the progress you rarely celebrate. The times you chose patience over reaction, the times you prayed instead of quitting, the times you kept loving when it would have been easier to harden, those moments matter more than dramatic milestones. Because they reveal who you are becoming, and who you are becoming is someone ready to carry more influence, more responsibility, more blessing without losing humility or compassion. And yes, blessing is part of your story. Not just endurance, not just lessons, but real joy, real provision, real restoration, real open doors. I delight in giving good gifts, but I give them in ways that draw you closer, not pull you away. So when the doors open, when the prayers materialize, when the turnaround happens, let gratitude guard your heart. Let humility guide your steps. Let generosity flow through you. Because the miracle in your life is meant to overflow into others. Your comfort will become someone else's hope. Your testimony will become someone else's lifeline. Your faith through struggle will become proof to someone watching silently that I am still faithful. And never think your story is too small to matter, because impact in my kingdom is not measured by spotlight, but by obedience. And every quiet yes you give me echoes farther than you see. So keep saying yes. Yes when it's inconvenient. Yes when it stretches you. Yes when it requires forgiveness. Yes when it means trusting me without backup plans. Because that surrendered yes is where power flows. And when fear tries to revisit you, trying to pull you back into old cycles of overthinking and self-doubt, answer it with truth. Remind your soul of what you know now, that you are held, guided, defended, loved, and that no weapon formed against your purpose will ultimately succeed. Challenges may rise, but they will not have the final word. Setbacks may come, but they will not cancel destiny. Emotions may fluctuate, but my presence does not. I am constant when everything else feels unstable, and you can build your life on that constancy without fear of collapse. So lift your head, straighten your shoulders, not in pride, but in quiet confidence, because you are walking forward not alone, not guessing, not abandoned, but accompanied every step. And when you feel weak, that is not disqualification, that is invitation to lean more deeply, and my strength fills surrendered spaces. So stop hiding your weakness from me. Bring it, place it in my hands, and watch how grace meets you there. And as you step into the days ahead, let this be your posture. Open heart, steady faith, willing spirit, eyes looking for my hand in everything, And when you fall short, return quickly. Don't run away in shame. Run toward me in trust, because nothing about my love for you is fragile. It does not break under your imperfections. It holds, it restores, it continues. And I am not growing tired of you, not disappointed in your pace, not reconsidering my plans. I am committed, and that commitment is your security, so rest in it. Move from it, dream from it, love from it, and as this chapter closes and the next begins, carry this unshakable truth like a seal over your heart. You are seen, you are heard, you are guided, you are protected, you are being prepared, and what lies ahead is not random but purpose-filled. And I will be with you in every high, every low, every ordinary moment in between, turning even the smallest details toward your good and my glory. So go forward in peace, in courage, in faith, knowing that the story is still unfolding, the promises still stand, the breakthrough is closer than it looks, and my love for you, steady, fierce, and everlasting, will never leave you. Not now, not ever. Amen.